Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back into the video, and today the Houston Rockets lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder 123-110. The Rockets in this one blew a 16-point lead. Really frustrating loss to the Houston Rockets today. Had a 16-point had a 16-point lead in this one in the first half and dominated the first half. They shot the ball really well in the first half. I mean, from three in the whole game, they weren't that bad. 16 for 41, 39%, but they hit 8 threes in the first quarter. So they were on fire in the first quarter, scored 34 points. Thing is OKC still scored 31. The Rockets had a really good first half, and they were up by a total of 5 points going into halftime. Now, they had a bigger lead before the team went into halftime, but the Thunder did cut that lead down. Then the third quarter, Rockets just weren't able to score. They weren't able to score the basketball. Only 21 points of offense in the third quarter. The OKC scored 66 points in the second half. The Rockets only scored 48. I mean, I really don't think you could blame anybody for this loss tonight. I mean, there wasn't really anybody on this team that played really bad. I mean, Dylan Brooks was good tonight, shot 4 for 5 from 3, was 4 for 10 with 13 points. Jabari Smith Jr. was great tonight. Another double-double with 20 points and 17 rebounds, 6 for 15 shooting. Şengün was good with 19 points and 12 rebounds, another double-double for him. I mean, the only thing you could really complain with Şengün is that he had 6 turnovers, but he did have 19 and 12, 6 for 12 shooting, 1 for 3 from 3, and even hit a couple mid-range shots tonight, which is the first time in a while he's done that. 20 points for Fred VanVleet. I thought he was really solid tonight. 7 for 16, 4 for 10 from 3, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 11 points for Jalen Green. Even Jalen Green wasn't terrible in this one. The shooting wasn't there. 1 for 5 from 3, 5 for 13 shooting, but he did get 7 boards, 4 assists, and had 2 blocks. So I don't think he wasn't great in this one, but he wasn't terrible. 12 points for Cam Whitmore off the bench with 3 rebounds, 4 for 9 shooting. He did shoot 1 for 4 from 3. Now, Amen Thompson had a terrible shooting night tonight, which he was coming off one of his best games of the season. In the previous game against the Phoenix Suns, had the best plus minus on the team at plus 19, and was a big factor in the Rockets' win. He had over 20 points for the Rockets in that win over the Phoenix Suns. He was great, but tonight only had 6.6 rebounds. He was very effective for the Rockets defensively, though, as always. 3 blocks and 2 steals for Amen Thompson tonight. He was 0 for 2 from 3 and 2 for 10 shooting. Some of the Rockets' other players, I mean, besides the 2 rookies and Cam Whitmore and Amen Thompson with 18 points off the bench, there were only a total of 9 bench points, 7 points for Aaron Holiday. He had a sick step-back three-pointer in this game. That was one of his 3 field goals, shot 3 for 5 with 1 assist. And then Jock Landale did play 1 minute in this ball game at the end of the game, and he didn't do anything at all. Jeff Green played 16 minutes with 2 points and 1 assist, took 3 shots, was 1 for 3 and 0 for 2 from 3. I really think the real reason probably why the Rockets lost this game is because they couldn't keep up the pace with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I thought they did a really good job at, stopping the Thunder in the first half, held them to 57 points, which I know that's a lot of points, but the Thunder are one of the best scoring teams in basketball. They're averaging over 120 points per game as a team this year. So I thought holding them to 57 points at halftime was really solid by this Rockets defense, and for them to have 62 themselves, I thought this Rockets team did a really good job, but then, in the second half, the defense changed. They were not able to stop the Thunder, and they weren't able to make shots like they were in the first half, and that's the real reason why the Rockets lost this ball game. 36 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had a great performance. Should be the front runner, or maybe not the front runner, but I think in my opinion, MVP should either be him or Luka. Probably, I think if I had to pick one, I would probably go with Shai, but just because he's on the team that is the best team in the Western Conference, or they're tied with the Timberwolves for the best team in the Western Conference right now. 36 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 13 for 23 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3, 8 for 9 at the free throw line. I want to talk about Lou Dort because he was great in this game and a big reason why the Thunder won. Now, he only had 16 points, but shot 4 for 6 from 3, had 3 threes in the first quarter, and the way he's shooting the ball for this Thunder team this season and what he's doing for the Thunder is very underrated. I remember when the Rockets and the Thunder were playing that playoff series, and he was that guy that was supposed to stop James Harden, but he couldn't do anything else. And it was like everybody was going crazy about how good of a defender he was, but he was a terrible offensive player. He had no jump shot, but now he's turned himself into a really good three-point shooter, shooting over 40% this season. Tonight shot 4 for 6, so I think he's a really fun player to watch and a really underrated part of this Thunder team. Josh Giddey had 2 points with 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. I'm not going to give too much attention to him, but although he only played 23 minutes, so but I think 9 rebounds, especially for a shooting guard in 23 minutes, is not bad at all. Then 22 points to Jalen Williams, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 9 for 22, 2 for 6 from 3, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, and 29 points for Chet Holmgren with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks, 11 for 16, 5 for 8 from 3. He was great in the second half of this ball game, and this was the matchup of that 2022 NBA draft with Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith Jr. Now, I know Chet was the better player in this game, but both players, Chet and Jabari, were excellent in this game. Chet had 29, 7, and 8 with 3 blocks, while Jabari had 20 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Both made a lot of threes. Chet hit 5 for 8. Jabari was 4 for 9, so both players were really well. Both players played really well in this ballgame. And then Gordon Hayward played 12 minutes off the bench and had 0 points, but had 4 rebounds. But that was really it. A tough loss for the Rockets, blowing a 16-point lead, but it's one of the toughest teams in the NBA, in the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I was actually really impressed with the way the Rockets played so good in the first half and shot the ball well, but in the second half just couldn't really get it done. But I'm happy that we were able to beat them. We beat them. We beat them once. We beat them earlier in the season. Beat them by 9 points here in Houston. We'll get the chance to get our redemption on Tuesday. We're playing the Thunder on Tuesday. We're playing the Thunder on Tuesday, and it's on TNT. What's crazy is it's the first non-televised Rockets game in 4 years. When I say non-televised, it's going to be the first game in 4 years that there has not been a Rockets game on AT&T Sportsnet or Space City Home Network. In the last 4 years, that's what the Rockets channel has been called. It's been 4 years since the Rockets have had a game that is just on ESPN or TNT. So I'm glad the Rockets are finally getting some credit. I mean, for what they've done this season. I know they're 11th place right now. They're outside looking in, but compared to what they were last year, in the year last year they had 22 wins. They have 25 at this point and still have another 25 games remaining. So I think the improvement and the young talent that this team has, they should be able to showcase themselves to everybody on national television. So I'm really excited that the Rockets will be able to showcase themselves on Tuesday night. Now, I'm really disappointed that I won't be able to get to watch that because I will be going to the first night of the Houston Rodeo on Tuesday night. But maybe I doubt it. I think it's going to be – I probably won't be able to get to watch any of it. But I'll go back and watch the game. But what I was going to say is that maybe since it's a later game, the game starts at 9 o'clock when these two teams play again on Tuesday, maybe I'd be home before then. But I think leaving the rodeo on Tuesday night, if you've ever left the rodeo after it's over, it's pretty much a pain in the butt. But tough loss for the Rockets, tough lead that was blown tonight by this Rockets team. But I really don't think anybody should be blamed for this loss. I know people, Rockets fans, Rockets Twitter will go and point the fingers at players, and myself, I've done that before. I've pointed the finger to players on this roster. I've blamed Jalen Green. I've blamed other players on this team when we've seen Fred VanVleet struggle. I've blamed a lot this season for some of the losses. But I really think this was nobody's fault. This was a game where you're playing a tough team, a great offense, one of the best teams in the league. In my opinion, the best team in the Western Conference. I think it's definitely a debate between them and the Timberwolves. Those are the two most talented teams. Now the Thunder are the best offensive team in the Western Conference, but the Timberwolves are the best defensive team. You competed with them. You dominated in the first half. Sure, you weren't good in the second half. You got outplayed, but I still think this was a good performance by the Rockets, even though they blew a 16-point lead. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, Rockets fans, and peace out. Go Rockets.